Tonight on CTV News, we bring you the latest in live election updates.
Then we look at CSU's newest sustainability ranking.
And we explore CSU's annual powwow. All this and more on CTV News starting now. Good evening, Rams. I'm Sunday Miller.
And I'm Edgar Cedillo. Here's what's happening in the news near you.
According to the Princeton Review, Colorado State University is ranked 6th in the nation among environmentally conscious institutions. Hundreds of universities were surveyed and evaluated on their dedication to sustainability. And CSU ranked top 6 in categories ranging from academics to research and engagement. The university was recognized for its student-run bike repair shop, The Spoke, and for its dedication to preserving the honeybee population. This ranking comes after CSU became the first university in the world to earn a STARS Platinum rating for sustainability.
The Fort Collins City Council is looking at implementing a discrimination and harassment policy as a part of an increased focus on how government agencies handle reports. The Committee of City Council staff, City Council members, has been meeting to discuss how reporting and investigations would work under the new system and what constitutes harassment. The anti-harassment policy would apply to all council members and council appointees.
If singing, dancing, and cultural immersion are your idea of a good time, the powwow put on by the Native American Cultural Center may be the event for you.
On November 2nd, the 36th annual powwow was put on by the Native American Cultural Center.
I'm a Southern straight dancer, so I'll be dancing later this afternoon. I am Pawnee and Flandre Santee Sioux. I'm 2 different tribes. A powwow is a Native American gathering. It's like a party we have for us nowadays. Basically, we get together, we just sing and dance like we used to in the old days.
The celebration was in honor of Native American Heritage Month. Dancing and singing weren't the only events happening that evening. Outfits were adorned by attendees to honor their heritage and their past. Shops sold handmade jewelry and traditional food was distributed.
I'm very excited when like intercultural events happen and like stuff like this. The best thing about America is that it's just diversity of so many different cultures and so many different people coming together. I think it's great, like especially for a college campus. I always appreciate such things, because then people realize that it's just not about, not just being about an American everyday guy, but like doing cultural things, learning about different cultures.
While being entertaining and fun for all, the event was also an all-inclusive, welcoming, and loving environment. Ren Wadsworth, CTV, Channel 11.
The American Indian Scientific and Engineering Society also joined with the NACC office to sponsor this event. The powwow will come back to campus again next fall.
While the Fort Collins city budget is relatively constant this cycle, the City Council has found money to potentially increase hours and funding for homeless services. Budget reductions in areas such as landscaping freed up funding to help expand services provided by Sister Mary Alice Center for Hope. The proposal would increase access to lockers and showers and other services, extending their weekday evening hours.
Campus Step Up CSU's annual Social Justice Retreat is now accepting applications for participants and facilitators. The retreat will be in Estes Parks from January 17th through January 19th. It helps students expand their awareness of issues like privilege, and it also allows them to focus on self-reflection and personal growth. Applications can be submitted on RamLink until November 16th.
A group of teachers and students at CSU called the Little Shop of Physics regularly set up a shop at the annual powwow.
A scientific surprise came for the young attendees of the 36th annual powwow, honoring November, Native American Heritage Month.
The Little Shop of Physics is a traveling hands-on science program, and every week we go to a different school and we just put our stuff out on the table and let kids explore and experiment. The emphasis is on discovery and letting the kids be the scientists.
The powwow was hosted by the American Indian Science and Engineering Society, who invites the Little Shop of Physics to join them every year for their annual powwow.
And then we're part of the powwow. It's basically the halftime entertainment. The kids have been behaving themselves and they're dressed up and they just need a chance to kind of bust loose and just get their hands on some stuff and just be kids. And it turns out the way that we do things, just letting the kids just explore, letting them discover on their own works really, really well for Native American kids. And the way that we build things with just everyday objects, we demystify this, works really, really well too. And so we've had a really, really great connection with the Native American students in the areas. And it's been a really great opportunity for me to take the students at Colorado State University and give them a really interesting cultural experience.
Here, children are taught to explore on their own, or with assistance, their astonishment blossoms. In this environment, children are able to let their curiosity take flight.
And it's a perfect fit for us to be able to recognize how important this connection has been to us and be part of the powwow. So we're honored to be here and glad to be part of this day.
The Little Shop of Physics not only allows children a reprieve from their hard work of singing and dancing at the powwow, but an opportunity to learn. Ren Wadsworth, CTV, Channel 11.
The Little Shop of Physics also teams up with local reservations to teach children about science and engineering.
The 5th annual Interfaith Friendsgiving Dinner will be held tomorrow from 6 to 8 in the evening at Everyday Joe's Coffee House. Their tradition originated from Jewish students at CSU's Hillel, and it's designed to bring students of varying beliefs and backgrounds together. Students cook a meal big enough to serve nearly 200 people, and the preparation has been going on for several days. At the dinner, organizers will also be accepting winter gear donations for Homeward Alliance.
After months of campaigning, Election Day is here. Candidates across Colorado and across the country are preparing to find out the results. Polls have just closed here in the state, and we are waiting to see the results come in on the gubernatorial race and other key races taking place tonight. Looking at, we had huge voter turnout today and across the country, as was kind of expected throughout the nation. The voter turnout was huge. Obviously, Democrats are hoping for their blue wave, as we've been hearing a lot throughout the country. So it should be interesting to see whether we do have that blue wave come in tonight, or whether the Republicans will remain in control of all three branches, as we have seen so far. So still waiting to see results come in. They just closed about like 10 minutes ago here in the state, so we do have a couple more coming in, so we should have a decent amount and a general sense of what we have.
You know, Edgar, I'm not at all surprised to hear that. Campus was packed with people today voting at the polls, and even members of New Era were physically walking students over to the LSC to vote, so that was really exciting to see. And speaking of that, I saw a tweet earlier about the lines across Larimer County were so substantial that they were averaging about a 15-minute wait time. And as of 3 in the afternoon, about 155,000 people have voted in this county. What do you think about that?
Yep. I mean, that line at the LSC was about wrapped around the corner near the stairs, so it was interesting to see that many people turn out. You know, with Colorado being a mail-in state, thought more people would vote earlier, but looks like a lot of people like to wait till the day of to vote just to get that feeling that they voted on Election Day. So.
And the sticker. I
yeah,
think
the
that's a big
sticker's
thing.
probably the sticker's probably the biggest part that everyone looks forward to. So let's get into some results. We do have a couple to report right now. Looks like Walker Stapleton is falling behind to Jared Polis. In the state, looks like Stapleton has about 58.9. Jared Polis has about 58.9. To Walker Stapleton's 37% right now. 13% reporting, so that's still a pretty good, decent amount for it only being close for 10 minutes. So we should have a decent amount of results come in. As you can see, Jefferson County and Denver County have gone blue, with Mesa County out west going red for Stapleton. Let's go over to District 6, which covers Fort Collins, as we know. Big race here between Peter Yu and Jonah Guse. Right now, looks like Jonah Guse is up to Peter Yu right now. Looks like Jonah Guse has about 16,000 votes, so 49% of the vote. So 6% reporting, so it's still a pretty early race. We can't guarantee a win for either candidate right now, just because it looks like the difference is only about 2,000 votes. So
yeah, nothing is set in stone at the moment. We'll see how it goes as the night progresses.
It's still very early on. I mean, 10 minutes ago. So let's go over to the race that most of the state and the country has been watching, District 6 down in Denver. That one between Mike Kaufman, still no reports as of yet, but that one is going to be a very tight race between incumbent Mike Kaufman, who's been in power since 2009. So that should be an interesting one to watch, whether he gets whether he keeps his seat or whether Jason Crow takes his seat. Actually, looks like we do have some updates right now. Looks like Jason Crow is up about 54% with 109,000 votes to Mike Kaufman's 86,000. So still, that one is very close. I think that one's going to go long into the night just because the district has been won by Democrats. In the past, Hillary Clinton won that, Barack Obama won that one twice. Hickenlooper won that in 2014. So with Democrats winning that, Mike Kaufman has always won that with about an 8% margin. So
do you think that theme will continue as this progresses?
Still, we'll see. That one's an interesting race to watch in the state. And I mean, that one could decide whether Democrats take control in the U.S. House. So that could spell whether we know of that blue wave hitting.
That's why those midterm elections are so important to go out there and vote.
Very. And then we might want to touch base on some of the amendments and propositions as we've taken note. Amendment 73, which I'll let you touch some base on.
Yeah, so Amendment 73 has really been blowing up on social media. That is the ballot to basically increase taxes for education funding. And the reason that's so controversial is because, of course, the taxes come out of the more, I guess, richer Americans, you per se. But a lot of teachers have been going out and picketing for this, so this has been a big one to kind of see both sides of the story on this amendment.
Yeah. And I mean, we've seen the teachers campaign throughout the state. We saw teacher walkouts in April. So right now it looks like it is down. Doesn't look like it is passing as of yet. So 53% no, 46% yes. So for now, that's all we have for news, but we will be back after entertainment to bring you a little bit more live updates.
Yeah, stay tuned for weather, sports, and entertainment coming up here on CTV.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Welcome back, Rams. I'm your weather anchor, Allie Peters, here with your current conditions in Fort Collins. It is a pretty cold 38 degrees, but because of the high wind temperatures at 10 degrees and the sunset going down about 2 hours ago, it does feel about 4 degrees colder, more like 34, and it will just continue to get colder as the night continues to go on. It was a pretty clear day in Fort Collins today. Partly cloudy, but pretty clear skies. The wind definitely made it feel a little bit colder, forcing students to wear a little heavier coats on campus. But this little guy had his own fur coat to keep him warm. The trees throughout campus are really starting to lose almost all of their leaves, and the only flowers left around are right outside the plaza. Looking at your overnight lows for the state of Colorado, it is going to be coldest down in Gunnison at 10, and in the mountain areas, 15 in Vail and 13 down in Telluride. Coldest down there, and we can expect some snow overnight. We're staying in the 20s down the I-25 corridor from Fort Collins all the way down to Pueblo. around the mid-20s. And up in the north, it's going to be 25 in Sterling and 18 over in Craig. Looking at your tomorrow's forecast, we have a high of 42, a little colder than it was today, and a low of 23. It will be partly cloudy again, with a little less wind at 7 miles per hour. And since daylight savings was 2 days ago, our sunset's going to get earlier and earlier in the evening. Tomorrow it will be at 4:49. Tomorrow's state highs, 40s down the I-25 corridor again, except for 50 down in Pueblo, where it is going to be the hottest at 52 over in Grand Junction, but overall we are in about the 40s for the state. Looking at your 5-day forecast, today was 52, moving into the 40s for the rest of the week, 42 tomorrow, partly cloudy, 43 on Thursday, partly cloudy again, but the sun will come out on Friday, but it will only be a high of 44. Still a little cold out, still time to keep those winter coats out to keep you warm on campus. And that's all I have for you. I'm your weather anchor, Allie Peters, but stay tuned for Sports with Maddie.
You are listening to 90.5 KCSU Fort Collins with DJ Meanbeat,
DJ Nightshade,
DJ Wildcard. Music to me is
one of the best creative outlets that I can think of.
An escape from the real world.
Music to me is an expression of love.
To go from like folk to hip hop to like classic rock, 1960s bossa nova. With music, there's like no boundaries.
I work here because I love music, and you do too.
Hey Rams, I'm Maddie Warren, filling in for Jason Ortiz, bringing you the most recent updates in CSU athletics. So let's get right into it. The CSU men's golf team headed out to Pebble Beach, California yesterday to tee off the St. Mary's Invitational Tournament. After yesterday's play, freshman Oscar Teifel was tied for 4th and was shooting 2 under par. As of now, Teifel has dropped to 6th, still hitting 2 under par as the Rams wrap up day 2. Colorado State has one more day of play tomorrow, so you can check back in with Thursday Night Sports anchor Jared Stratton for updates on how the Rams finished the tournament. As we speak, the Colorado State women's basketball team is hosting their season home opener against Eastern New Mexico. The Rams are currently up 17-11 in the first quarter. The team will turn towards junior Molly Mounsey to continue her superstar play that she showcased in the women's exhibition games. The Colorado State football team has their annual matchup against Nevada coming up this weekend. Although it was a close one, the Rams' 44-42 win over Nevada last year placed Colorado State 3-0 in conference play. With a much different team and record going into this year's matchup, the Rams need to come off the bye week strong to beat the Wolfpack on their home field. Nevada quarterback Ty Ganji finished last year's game with a career-high 428 yards and 4 touchdown passes. Ganji returns as a senior with the Wolfpack this year and will prove to be a strong presence against Colorado State's defense, bolstering 2,118 passing yards on the season. Former Rams receiver and current Dallas Cowboy Michael Gallup tied his career best last year with 13 receptions for 263 yards. However, the Rams are without Gallup and former quarterback Nick Stevens this year, and the spotlight turns to redshirt sophomore quarterback Colin Hill and wide receivers Preston Williams and Warren Jackson to achieve an outcome that is hopefully much different than that of the Wyoming game 2 weekends ago. Now, in true Jason fashion, it's time for the top 3 plays of the week. Let's see them. So first up, we have CSU newcomer Tatum Newber, a big presence under the net, going up for a big rebound and a bucket of her own off of Grace Kolovalu's shot. Next up, we have Kendall Moore with a big drive and a shot in the paint and one after drawing the foul. It was an outstanding performance by the freshman in CSU men's basketball one and only exhibition game. And finally, we have a big-time rally from CSU Volleyball in their border war matchup last Tuesday. This one-point rally really shows off the spirit of the game and the rivalry. The Rams fought hard and won the battle with a killer swing from freshman Sasha Colombo. If there's anything to sum up that volleyball match, this rally is it. All right, Rams, that's all I have for you this week, but be sure to follow CTV Sports on Twitter and stick around because up next is Jason with entertainment.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes, but with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back, Rams. It's me, Justin Reyes, here to give you the deets on everything entertainment. Let's get started. I'm pretty sad Halloween is over. It's literally the second best holiday ever. Now, 50 days till Christmas, Fort Collins is bringing in that holiday cheer. Deck the house with lights of Christmas. The FOCO community flipped the switch at the downtown holiday lighting ceremony last Friday. Thousands of low-energy, sustainable LED lights illuminated the sidewalks, treetops, and lampposts of Old Town Fort Collins. Hundreds of people crowded Old Town in awe of the holiday lights, so much so that it created more traffic. Yay! The lights are remaining lit through Valentine's Day. I'm not a very funny person, only funny looking, and stage fright is, well, frightening. But if you're around with a knack for comedy, our very own radio station at KCSU is giving you the opportunity to flex your funny bone. The KCSU Comedy Open Mic Session opens to everyone at the Ramskeller next Tuesday, November 13th. Sign up is happening now via message on For Comedy's Facebook page. I personally can't wait to see CSU students crack the same old FOCO jokes about beer, hiking, and pizza. Santa Claus is coming to Old Town Square and checking his list twice to see who's naughty and nice. Children of all ages are required or are invited to share their holiday wishes with Santa at his workshop downtown on Saturday, November 17th at 12 in the afternoon. Taking pics with Santa Claus is free, and so is sparing your child the trauma of telling them that Santa is not real. Oh, I'm just kidding. Santa departs from Fort Collins on Christmas Eve. Wong Fu Productions is an Asian American filmmaking group that's amassed more than 3 million subscribers on YouTube. Producing music videos and short films since 2006 with their witty satirical comedy, Wong Fu Productions traveled to CSU this past Thursday with a free screening of their comedy show about the modern Asian American experience with Yappy.
The Asian Pacific American Cultural Center and Wong Fu Productions joined forces to present Yappy. Wait, what you call me? What's that about a Yappy? Andrew, played by Philip Wong, is a young Asian professional, aka Yappy, blissfully living his life as a software engineer.
I'm here. I was able to experience this. I've been following them for such a long time. Since like when they first came out with like the yellow fever video, my parents showed me and I was like, I don't know, like 9 or 10 or something. And it was so funny to me and I was just a 10-year-old.
Tragedy strikes when his girlfriend calls it quits after being a just-safed Asian man. Left to pick up the pieces and re-examine his life.
Having like a big organization where I can like meet other Asian Americans like at a different university, like even in my state, is really cool because it's just people I've never met that I can relate to.
Conveying the modern Asian American experience and tackling the model minority myth. With its 5-episode first season, Yappy is funded through Patreon supporters and free YouTube clicks, and is in talks of a partnership with a studio to bring Asian American representation to the silver screen.
If you are interested in continuing Yappy, you can catch up on new episodes and all of Wong Fu's comedy sketches and storytelling on Wong Fu Productions' YouTube page and social media. Well, that's all. Illegal Pete's in Old Town is giving free drinks tonight if you bring your I Voted sticker, so I'm heading out. Tune in tomorrow for CTV Cooks, same time, same channel. But before we go, Edgar, Cedillo, and Sunday Miller have breaking news about the midterm election.
Before we go tonight, we wanted to update you on tonight's election results. So right now, it looks like Jared Polis is still in the lead with about 53% of the vote. He has a little over 500,000 votes at 640. Walker Stapleton is shortly following behind at about 509,000 votes. He has 42% of the vote, so he's looking like Jared Polis is winning throughout the state. Let's take a look at District 6. District 2 here in Fort Collins. Right now, it's looking like Jonah Hughes is still in the lead with about 65% of the vote. He has about 96,000 votes, so he's approaching that 100,000 mark. Peter Yu is falling behind at 30%. This one, definitely a solid Democrat district, so not a huge surprise there with that gap of about a little over 20%. So should be interesting to watch that one.
And going into District 5 of the House, Coloradoan voters might be surprised to see that the Democrat is actually currently in the lead. The Colorado Springs is traditionally a predominantly voted conservative city, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes.
And it does look like Colorado, that district that you just mentioned, has gone back to red. So Colorado Springs, which like you just said, traditionally votes a Republican, might stick through this time. Looks like Stephanie Spalding did have the lead for a little bit, but it looks like Doug Lamborn is back in the lead. Looking at District 6, a heated race between Jason Crow and Mike Kaufman. Looks like right now Jason Crow is still in the lead. He has reached over 100,000 votes. He's at 108,000. Mike Kaufman is falling behind at 86,000 votes. So right now there's like about a little over 10% margin right now. Still 65% of the precincts are in, so it could be a race that might be called soon. District 7, West Denver has gone for Ed Perlmutter, so right now we already have one Democrat that will be representing Colorado at the House. Let's go over to the propositions that we've been keeping a close eye on as well this year.
Yeah, I think an important one to mention would be Proposition 112. That would not allow fracking within 2,500 feet of schools and buildings deemed important. And I think that particular terminology is what is so controversial.
Exactly.
What exactly deems a building important?
And right now, looks like Proposition 112 looks like it is not passing as of now. 58.6% are saying no, with 41% saying yes. So this one looks like it might fail, but still, again, with how controversial it was, it's still very close. The other one that was pretty controversial was Proposition 109. This one would force the state to fork out $3.5 billion for transportation. This one looks to be losing as well. So looks like 59.9% say no on this one and 40.1% say yes. So it looks like this one might fail, but still we don't know. Again, too close to call on this one. And then Proposition 110, which would be a tax increase. Looks like that one is also failing at 60% and 39.4% saying yes for that one. So we'll be keeping a close eye on these. I'll be tweeting results as they come throughout the night. Follow me at Edgar Cedillo TV, follow Collegian, and CTV 11 for more updates. I'll be back on Thursday night with Emma and Ryan for the recap of all the elections. But that's all we have for news from us. So
have a good evening, Rams.
Have a good night, Rams.